October 28, 1943. The Philadelphia Naval Shipyard is shrouded in a thick, unnatural fog. The USS Eldridge, a cannon-class destroyer escort, floats quietly on the water, caught up in one of World War II's wildest legends. What allegedly happened on this day would blur the lines between science, secrecy, and the supernatural, giving birth to the story known as the Philadelphia Experiment. The official objective, as the story goes, was rooted in a critical wartime need. German U-boats were devastating Allied shipping lanes. The U.S. Navy, desperate for an edge, supposedly launched a top-secret project, codenamed Project Rainbow, to render a warship invisible to enemy radar. This was to be achieved through a radical application of Albert Einstein's unified field theory, a concept that sought to unite the forces of electromagnetism and gravity. In theory, by generating a powerful electromagnetic field around the ship, it could bend light and radar waves, effectively creating a cloak of invisibility. The initial test seemed to be a success. Eyewitnesses, whose accounts would later surface through letters and interviews, described a strange, greenish haze beginning to envelop the USS Eldridge. The air crackled with electricity. A low hum vibrated through the docks. Then, as the massive generators on board reached full power, the impossible happened. The Eldridge didn't just disappear from radar screens. It vanished from sight entirely, leaving only an eerie depression in the water where it once floated. But the experiment had gone terribly, horrifyingly wrong. Instead of simple optical invisibility, the ship had allegedly been teleported. For a few terrifying minutes, it reportedly materialized hundreds of miles away in Norfolk, Virginia, witnessed by sailors aboard the SS Andrew Furuseth, before vanishing again and reappearing back in the Philadelphia shipyard. The return was even more chaotic than the departure. The ship flickered back into existence, shrouded in smoke and the stench of ozone. What naval personnel found upon boarding the dematerialized Eldridge was a scene of pure terror. The crew was in a state of utter disarray. Some sailors were nauseous and disoriented, their memories scrambled. Others were suffering from severe burns and mental breakdowns, babbling incoherently about traveling through time and seeing other dimensions. The most gruesome and unbelievable accounts claimed that some men were fused into the very metal of the ship, their arms and legs embedded in the steel bulkheads and decks, trapped forever between states of matter. 5 sailors were reportedly found in this horrific state, while others had simply vanished, never to be seen again. The Navy, faced with a catastrophic outcome and a secret they couldn't contain, allegedly went into full cover-up mode. The surviving crew members were subjected to intense psychological debriefing, or what some might call brainwashing, to erase their memories of the event. All records of Project Rainbow were classified at the highest level or destroyed outright. The official ship's log for the USS Eldridge for that period conveniently went missing. Officially, the Philadelphia Experiment never happened. The story could have faded away if it weren't for a guy named Maurice K. Jessup. Jessup was an astronomer who wrote the case for the UFO in 1955. Allende, a merchant mariner on the SS Andrew Furuseth, witnessed the Eldridge's weird vanishing act. His letters were filled with detailed, often cryptic descriptions of the experiment, referencing Einstein's theories and the horrific fate of the crew. Jessup was initially skeptical, but his interest was piqued when the Office of Naval Research contacted him. They had received a copy of his book, annotated with handwritten notes in 3 different colors, detailing alien technology, anti-gravity, propulsion, and a warped version of Allende's account of the Philadelphia Experiment. The Navy was so intrigued that they paid to have a limited number of copies of this annotated version printed and distributed internally. For Jessup, this was a disturbing validation. He dedicated the next few years to investigating the story, but the trail was cold, and he was met with stonewalls and ridicule. Tragically, in 1959, Maurice Jessup was found dead in his car in a Florida park. The official verdict was suicide, but for conspiracy theorists, the timing was too convenient. Had he gotten too close to the truth? Did shadowy government agents silence him to protect the secret of Project Rainbow? Over the decades, the Philadelphia Experiment has become a cornerstone of modern conspiracy culture. It has been the subject of books, documentaries, and a major motion picture in 1984, each adding new layers to the legend. Diagrams showed where the electromagnetic generators were. More eyewitnesses came forward, some claiming to be surviving crew members, others the children of scientists who worked on the project. One of the most famous of these was Al-Balek, who emerged in the 1980s, claiming he was actually a man named Edward Cameron, one of two brothers who served on the Eldridge. He alleged that during the experiment, he and his brother Duncan jumped overboard and were thrown not through space, but through time, landing in the year 2137 before being sent back. His story was elaborate, involving time travel, secret government projects at Montauk Point, and encounters with extraterrestrials. While captivating, Balek's claims have been widely debunked, with records showing he was born in 1927 and had no military record of serving on the Eldridge. So, what is the truth? The U.S. Navy has consistently and categorically denied that the Philadelphia experiment ever took place. They maintain that the story is a hoax, a work of fiction spun from a misunderstanding of real naval research. Their official explanation points to standard degaussing procedures, which involved wrapping a ship in electrical cables to reduce its magnetic signature, making it invisible to magnetic sea mines, not to radar or the human eye. This process could, to an untrained observer, look mysterious and might have generated a faint glow or hum. The ship's log for the USS Eldridge, which was eventually declassified, shows that the ship was not in Philadelphia on October 28, 1943. It was on its maiden shakedown cruise in the Bahamas. It did dock in Norfolk, but the dates don't align with Allende's account. Furthermore, the supposed key witness, Carl Allen, was later revealed to be a known drifter with a history of mental instability, prone to embellishing stories. It seems he may have simply conflated real naval technology with Jessup's UFO theories and created a fantastic tale. Albert Einstein's unified field theory, the scientific basis for the experiment, remains an unproven, incomplete concept even today. The idea that it was weaponized in the 1940s is pure science fiction. Yet, despite the evidence against it, the legend of the Philadelphia experiment endures. Why? Perhaps it's because it touches on our deepest fascinations and fears. The allure of secret knowledge, the hubris of unchecked scientific ambition, and the terrifying possibility that our government is hiding truths that would shatter our understanding of reality. It is a story of a ship that sailed into a fog of mystery and, in the minds of many, has never truly returned. The official records say one thing, but the whispers and the legends say another. Was it a simple wartime procedure misunderstood by a troubled fantasist, or was it a genuine, terrifying leap into the unknown? A secret so profound that it had to be buried at all costs. The waters of the Delaware River are calm now. The shipyard is quiet, but the questions linger, floating in the fog of history. A chilling reminder of the day a warship and its crew may have touched the void and paid a terrible price. Did the U.S. Navy actually make a ship invisible? Or is it just a cover-up? What do you think happened? Share your thoughts below. If this mystery left you thinking, imagine what's next. Subscribe now, and keep searching with forgotten clues.